Well, the mayor campaigned on three very memorable promises during the campaign. One of them was to provide New York City residents with fast and free bus service, another to provide a free universal child care program for New York City children aged 6 weeks to 5 years, and another was to freeze the rents in New York City's nearly 1 million rent stabilized apartments. The piece of that agenda that seems like it has the most momentum at this point is his pledge to provide a universal child care program. That's gotten the backing, at least in theory, from New York's Governor Kathy Hochul and from some business leaders too, who see the provision of childcare as an economic development issue, one that frees up women to join the workforce and allows families more flexibility, and would help retain the middle class in New York City. And so all of those pieces, though, are contingent upon a variety of different things. The universal child care program, of course, would cost an estimated $6 billion a year. In order to get it, Mamdani would need money, likely from Albany, and it's unclear where the revenue would come from.
The tone looked on video really celebratory yesterday, but did you hear from some of his critics? Because he did refrain from singling out billionaires as he has in the past, but questions remain, to Paul's point, on whether his brand of progressive politics will really work. I mean, New York is the mecca of U.S. capitalism, after all.
Yeah, there was some concern yesterday about some of the rhetoric in his speech, and particularly about some of the fears that New Yorkers and critics, some of them have about his positions on Israel. He took executive action yesterday on a variety of issues, one of which was to get rid of all of the executive orders, or many of the executive orders enacted by former Mayor Eric Adams after his indictment on federal corruption charges, including some measures that Adams recently put into place that he said were intended to address anti-Semitism. And Mamdani also, in his speech yesterday, sort of doubled down on his rhetoric around governing as a democratic socialist, hewing to his policy agenda and not abandoning his pledges for fear of being deemed too radical. So anyone who hoped that he might abandon some of the more ambitious policy proposals, something like a rent freeze, maybe was mistaken, or at least in the way that Mamdani is now positioning himself and talking about what he intends to do.